Let me ask you something. If I told you that most retirement plans, even the ones built by experienced financial professionals, have at least one critical gap in them, would you want to know what it is? Because here's the reality. Most people spend decades saving for retirement. They watch their 401k balance. They try not to panic when the market drops. And when the time finally comes, they sit down with someone, get a plan put together, and think, okay, I'm ready. But ready for what exactly? Because saving money and having a complete retirement plan are two very different things. And today, I'm going to show you the 5 gaps I see over and over again in retirement plans. Gaps that can cost you tens of thousands of dollars, trigger taxes you never expected, and leave you exposed at the worst possible time. Welcome to Retirement Security Simplified. I'm Shonda Prescott, and I'm here to help pre-retirees and retirees cut through the noise and build retirement plans that actually hold up, not just on paper, but in real life, when the market drops, when health changes, and when the tax bill shows up. In this video, we're going to walk through 5 of the most common gaps I see in retirement plans. And for each one, I'm going to tell you what the gap is, why it matters, and what a more complete plan looks like. Let's get into it. The first gap, and honestly the one I see most often, is the absence of a guaranteed income plan. Here's what I mean. Most retirement plans are built around a portfolio. You save up a nest egg, you retire, and then you start pulling money out, usually somewhere around 4% per year. And the assumption is that the portfolio will last. The problem is that assumption is fragile. If the market drops significantly in the first few years of your retirement, which is something called sequence of returns risk, and you're still pulling money out to pay your bills, you can permanently damage your portfolio. You sell shares when they're down, you lock in those losses, and your money has less ability to recover when the market comes back. That's a real risk that doesn't show up in the projections. A complete retirement plan creates what we call an income floor. That's a base layer of guaranteed income that covers your essential expenses, no matter what the market does. For most people, Social Security is part of that floor, but for many retirees, Social Security alone doesn't cover everything. And that's where tools like a fixed indexed annuity with an income rider can fill the gap. A fixed indexed annuity with an income rider gives you the ability to turn a portion of your retirement savings into a guaranteed paycheck for life, without the risk of losing your principal in a market downturn. Think about it this way. Your mortgage, your utilities, your groceries, those bills are guaranteed to show up every month. Shouldn't part of your income be guaranteed too? The second gap is one that surprises a lot of people because it looks like a smart decision in the moment. Most people claim Social Security either at 62, the earliest possible age, or right at their full retirement age, which is somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on when you were born. And on the surface, that seems reasonable. But here's what most people don't realize. For every year you delay Social Security past your full retirement age, up to age 70, your benefit grows by 8%. That's not a market return. That's a guaranteed government-backed increase. And once you claim, that higher amount is locked in for life and adjusted for inflation. For a married couple, the stakes are even higher because the higher earner's benefit becomes the survivor benefit. So if one spouse passes away, the surviving spouse steps into that higher amount. Claiming too early doesn't just affect you, it can significantly reduce what your spouse lives on for the rest of their life. Now, I want to be clear. There's no one size fits all answer on Social Security timing. Your health, your other income sources, your spouse's situation, all of that matters. But the point is, this decision deserves serious analysis, not just a quick calculation. Because for most people, Social Security is the one guaranteed inflation adjusted income stream they already have. And far too many people end up under collecting it by hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime. Now, let's talk about something that almost nobody brings up until it's too late. Medicare costs and something called IRMA. Most people assume Medicare is basically free, or at least very affordable. And for some people, the base premiums are manageable. But Medicare has costs that can add up fast. Part B premiums, Part D drug coverage premiums, copays, deductibles, and supplemental coverage. And then there's IRMA, the Income Related Monthly Adjustment Amount. Here's how it works. If your income in a given year exceeds certain thresholds, Medicare charges you a surcharge on top of your standard premiums. Those surcharges can add anywhere from a couple hundred to over $400 per month per person. And because Medicare looks at your tax return from 2 years before, decisions you make today about income and withdrawals can directly impact what you pay for Medicare in the future. Now, here's what makes this especially tricky. Large Roth conversions, required minimum distributions from your IRA, even the sale of a home, all of these can push your income over an IRMA threshold and trigger those higher premiums. A complete retirement plan looks at this proactively. That might mean being strategic about the timing of Roth conversions. It might mean using a qualified charitable distribution to satisfy part of your required minimum distribution without it counting as taxable income. It means treating Medicare costs as an income planning issue, not just a healthcare issue. Most agents and advisors never bring this up. But when you're retired and living on a fixed income, an extra $400 a month in Medicare surcharges is not a small thing. This brings us to gap number 4. And this one catches a lot of people completely off guard. Most people spend their entire working lives doing the right thing. They max out their 401k. They contribute to their traditional IRA. They defer, and defer. And for decades, that felt like the smart move, because every dollar you put in reduced your taxable income right now. But here's what nobody told you. That money has never been taxed, and the IRS has not forgotten about it. When you reach age 73, the IRS requires you to start taking money out of those accounts, whether you need it or not. Those are called required minimum distributions, or RMDs. And every dollar that comes out is taxed as ordinary income. And here's where it snowballs. Those RMDs get added to your other income, Social Security, pension, anything else. And depending on that total, up to 85% of your Social Security benefit can become taxable. On top of that, a higher income level can push you into a higher Medicare bracket, triggering those IRMA surcharges we just talked about. A complete retirement plan has a tax strategy. That often means doing Roth conversions before RMDs begin, taking money out of the traditional account now, paying taxes at today's rates, and moving it into a Roth account where it grows tax-free and is never subject to RMDs. It means having tax diversification, some money in traditional accounts, some in Roth, and some in taxable accounts, so you have the flexibility to manage your income in retirement. Here's the line I sometimes use with clients. The IRS has a retirement income plan for you already. You probably won't like it. A complete plan means you're being intentional about your taxes before the IRS forces your hand. And the fifth gap, the one that can undo everything else, is having no plan for long-term care. The statistics here are sobering. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, about 70% of people turning 65 today will need some form of long-term care during their lifetime. The average cost of a private nursing home room now exceeds $100,000 per year in many parts of the country, and the average length of a care event is around 2 to 3 years. You do that math and you're talking about $200,000 to $300,000 or more coming out of a retirement portfolio that was already built to last 30 years. Most retirement plans don't account for this. They assume good health. They assume the numbers work under normal circumstances. But one long-term care event can undo 20 years of disciplined saving. So, what does a complete plan look like? It depends on your situation. For some people, traditional long-term care insurance makes sense. For others, a hybrid life insurance policy with a long-term care rider gives you the coverage you'll actually use, either for care or as a death benefit if you never need care. And some fixed index annuities have confinement care riders that can double your income payout if you're confined to a nursing home or require in-home care. The point isn't that there's one right answer. The point is that a complete retirement plan has an answer. It doesn't just hope for the best. Let's bring this all together. We talked about 5 gaps that I see in retirement plans all the time. Gap 1, no guaranteed income floor, which leaves retirees exposed to sequence of returns risk. Gap 2, Social Security claimed too early, which can cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in lifetime benefits. Gap 3, no Medicare or IRMA planning, which can add thousands of dollars per year in unexpected costs. Gap 4, no tax strategy, which means the IRS, not you, is deciding when and how much of your money gets taxed. And Gap 5, no long-term care contingency, which leaves one of the biggest financial risks in retirement completely unaddressed. Having money saved for retirement is a great start, but a complete retirement plan addresses all 5 of these. Not just one, not just 3, all 5. Now, if you watch this video and find yourself thinking, I'm not sure my current plan covers all of this, you're not alone. If this information was helpful, take a look at the free booklet called Retire Smart. It's available on the page that's linked in the description box. And if this video gave you value today, please give it a thumbs up. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Subscribe to Retirement Security Simplified so you don't miss what's coming next. And share this with someone you know who's within 10 years of retirement. They need to see this. I'll see you in the next video. This is Retirement Security Simplified, where we specialize in turning confusion into confidence, one conversation at a time.